Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create Instagram Reels in the style of Danco or EptaVisuals. For this video, we are going to create this reel. We will learn how to create gradients and style them in easiest way. Now, before we proceed further, I have one favor and I want you to leave out a like and subscribe to the channel if you have not already subscribed yet. Now, let's begin. So here we are inside of Adobe After Effects, and now I have brought up the reel into a composition panel. And now let's watch it. Alright, so now as you see, there is a circle that pops up and it will split up into smaller circles. So we are going to animate until right up the 3 seconds. So now let's begin. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a new solo layer and I'm going to call it background. And now what we are going to do is that let's solo the circle so we can see the original circle. So I'm just going to go towards the shape tool. I'm going to select the ellipse. I'm going to turn off the stroke, and then I'm going to draw a circle like this. And then what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to animate it from position. So I'm just going to set a keyframe on position, and then I'm going to place it down. And I'm going to apply the standard easing. So I'm going to change the easings into 80%. So let's watch. Alright, now we need to decrease the easings a bit. So I'm just going to set it on 65%. Alright, that's good. Now, as you see in the real example, there is a trail that is following the original layer. So to do that, what we are going to do is that I'm just going to rename it to big circle. And so what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to add the echo effect. So the first thing we are going to do is that we are going to increase the number of copies to 100. And then what we are going to do is that we are going to change the echo time to -0.005. So we will have this trail, and we can even make it better by animating the number of echoes from 100 to 0, and we can add the same easings. So we will have something like this, which is quite nice. Now up to the gradient design. So what we are going to do is that I'm just going to right click, and in layer styles I'm just going to add a gradient overlay. And then what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to towards the gradient overlay, and in colors I'm just going to edit the color. So to get the original color, I'm just going to unsolo this, and then I'm going to bring back the reel once again. And then what I'm going to do again, I'm just going to select the edit gradient in gradient section, and then I'm just gonna select the first color, and then I'm just gonna select the second color. So now let's just reveal the original layer. So we have something like this, and then what I'm going to do is that I'm just gonna turn the angle to 45 degrees like this, and then I'm just gonna make the upper part a bit darker, and we are going to change the gradient to something like this. Now we have the base design, and if we reveal the reel once again, as you see we have some pink color in here. So to do that, what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to reveal the gradient, and then I'm going to right click on it in layer styles. Once again, I'm going to select the inner shadow, and then what I'm going to do is that I'm just gonna open the inner shadow. I'm gonna change this color, and this seems nice. And then what I'm going to do is that I'm just gonna set it on here, and once again I'm just gonna increase the distance and size to get that gradient. We can also set this mode on overlay. So that is nice. Now, in order to make this animation, we need a deep glow plugin. So I'm just gonna apply the effect deep glow. Now, as you see, immediately as soon as I do that, we have nice glowing effect for our shape. Now I'm gonna turn down the radius to 100 and the rest is fine. So let's watch. Great. Now what I'm going to do is that let's reveal the reel once again. There is a small stroke circle that will pop up and then it will split into these red circles. Well, to do that, what I'm going to do is that let's just select the ellipse tool once again. Let's turn off the fill and let's set the stroke to a number such as 4, and then let's draw a circle. Good, but let's decrease this stroke width to 2. Even 1 should be fine. And now what we are going to do is that we're just gonna animate the scale. So I'm just gonna animate the scale from here, but once again, let's just increase its size. Alright, and then what I'm going to do is that I'm just gonna set a keyframe on scale, and in here I'm just gonna set it on 0, and let's apply the standard easings again, and when it's almost in here we are gonna set the opacity on 0. So let's set a keyframe and let's move it a couple of frames forward, and in here we are gonna turn it into 100. So we'll have something like this. So let's unsolo the reel so we can see it better. Great. Also we can push this a little bit further. Great. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to rename this to circle stroke, and let's move it beneath the original circle. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to reveal the reel once again, and I'm going to duplicate the big circle into red circle. And now what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to move this circle a lot so we can see it, and I'm just going to remove the position. And then I'm just gonna move it in here, and let's just decrease its size to match the original reference. All right, now it's time to design the red circle. Well, the first thing we are going to do is that we're just gonna hover over the layer style section, and then in gradient overlay I'm just gonna turn the gradient into red. So now we have something like this, which is quite close to what we want. Still, we need to turn down this one into a blackish color. We can also set the inner shadow to black as well. Now we have some nice shading in here, but as you see, there is a small white outline here. And since I'm using the deep glow plugin, if we want to add the stroke effect for our shape, it won't really be noticeable, or it doesn't really work as we want. So to fix that problem, what we are going to do is that I'm just going to duplicate the circle one more time, and I'm going to change it into red circle overlay. And now what we are going to do is that I'm just gonna remove everything. So I'm gonna hold Ctrl plus Shift plus E to remove the effects, and then also I'm just gonna delete the layer styles. So we can change this color to sort of something like this. And then what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to select the second layer. So I'm just going to select the ellipse tool, and then I'm going to turn the shape mode into mask because I want to draw a mask. And I'm going to draw a mask like this. And then what I'm going to do is that, let's just go to here. I'm going to parent it to the original layer first, so it follows the original circle. And then on the last step, I'm just going to go towards the mask, and then I'm going to set it on invert. Now we have something like this, and then I'm going to press F to reveal the feather, and I'm just going to feather this mask a bit. Now we can change this color to yellow, and also we can select the mask and we can push the mask a bit down. And let's turn off the rail so we can see our original layer better. So now we have something like this, which is quite nice. And now let's reveal everything. Alright, now we need to duplicate this circle a couple of times. We can push them like about here. So I'm gonna use the original reel to see where they are, and then I'm gonna just adjust these circles. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm just gonna select the red circles overlays. I'm gonna change their colors, and I'm just gonna turn them into, and then I'm just gonna activate the shy function, and then I'm gonna lock them, and lastly I'm just gonna hide them because we don't need them. And then I'm gonna select the red circles, and I'm gonna press P to open the position. And when I accidentally deleted the stroke, so let's just once again see the original stroke. And then I'm gonna push the stroke circle beneath the big circle, and then what I'm going to do is that I'm just gonna press U, and I'm gonna push these circles in here, and then I'm just gonna select them, and I'm gonna place them in here. And now I'm going to select them, and I'm going to apply the easings. And lastly, I'm just going to unshade them. Let's unlock the layers. So I'm just gonna select the circle overlays plus these red circles, and I'm gonna move them beneath the big circle. So now we will have this animation. Now, except the big circle, we're just gonna change its color along the stroke so we can see it better. I'm just gonna select the red circles and then I'm gonna cut it. So now let's see the final work. Great. Now one thing that is missing in here is the echo effect. So I'm just gonna select the red circles and then I'm gonna push the echo to here as well. So let's just quickly fix the echo for each layer. Now we just need to cut off the stroke circle. So I'm just gonna set opacity key. Now I'm gonna animate the opacity. I'm gonna offset the keyframes a bit. Great. And one thing that is happening on the main reel is that when you, let's just see the original reel example, as you see, it will turn into this simple gradient circle. So we can just duplicate this layer, or let's just solo it so we can see better. And what we are going to do is that we're just gonna remove the deep glow, and then we are going to get the color gradient effect. So we're just gonna remove the layer styles, we don't need it anymore. We're gonna turn this into linear gradient, and then I'm just gonna get the color. Let's see, and let's just set it like this. And lastly, let's just set the stroke on pixels. We're gonna turn it into 0.5. And lastly, when it's just around here, I'm just gonna cut these two circles. And now we are gonna add a bit of anticipation. So I'm just gonna animate this scale. And this will be and we can add a bounce expression for more follow through and overlapping action at the end. Now, here's the animation we have. And one thing we can do to make it even better, we can get a copy from the, we can copy the glow effect from the circle, and we can paste it into overlays to make it a bit more shinier. So here's the final result, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave out a like and subscribe to the channel, as it would help me out a lot for the future content. Thank you so much. Goodbye.